Hey, Bells Crossing second grade. I hope you're doing well. This unit that we will be working on for the next couple weeks is about nonfiction text features. When we are finished with this, you're going to be able to identify text features that authors use in nonfiction text. You're also going to be able to tell me how these text features help us understand what we're reading. So let's do a quick review. What is nonfiction? Nonfiction are stories or writing that's true. It can take form in a lot of different ways. It can be textbooks, magazines, articles, newspapers, reports, and some web pages, and also just short books that you enjoy reading. Some topics that are examples of nonfiction writing could be about solar system, could be about animals like frogs, cows, and dogs, can be about people such as Abraham Lincoln, Dolly Parton, Oprah Winfrey. It can also be about the history of things too, such as my personal favorite, the invention of bubble gum. So an author writes nonfiction for a purpose. And we've talked some about this earlier this year. We've talked about an author can write to entertain, an author can write to persuade you to think the way they do. But with nonfiction text, generally the author is writing to inform you about something, to teach you. And they include nonfiction text features with the purpose of helping you better understand what you're reading. So some examples of nonfiction text features are table of contents, headings, photographs, captions, diagrams, special type, pronunciations, glossary, index, and bullets. Now, if any of these are unfamiliar to you, that's okay. This is what we're going to be learning for the next couple weeks. So why are we studying this though? Why is it important that we understand what text features are and why they're even included in nonfiction books? That's because text features help us determine what's important in what we're reading. It helps organize the book. It draws attention to key points and important words. It clarifies meaning, which means it helps us maybe understand a word we've never heard before or an idea, a concept. And also, it gives more information that may not actually be written in the text itself. The first text feature that we're going to be focusing on today is the table of content. So the table of content is at the very beginning of the book normally. It helps show how the book is organized. It tells us what the topics are that we're going to be learning about inside the book. And that can be important because it can help us if we're looking for specific information. Maybe it's a big textbook and we can't read the whole book to find out what we need to know. We're looking for a small piece of information. Well, you can easily look at the table of content. You can also tell how long a chapter is by looking at the page numbers listed beside of the topics. So for example, the topic here, the chapter is A Frog's Family, and this chapter starts on page 4. Now, it doesn't tell us when it stops, but we can tell by looking at the chapter that comes after it. It says the life cycle. If the life cycle starts on page 12, then usually the chapter before it, A Frog's Family, it starts at page 4 and it ends at 11 before the new chapter begins. And with the new chapter, the life cycle, it starts on page 12 and it would stop on page 19 right before we get to chapter 3, the diet of a frog. So now I'm going to read a story to you, and we're going to look closely at the table of content in that story and study it. So we're going to read the book called Butterfly by Colleen Sexton. This is the cover, and then when we open up the book, it shows us the contents. This is the same as the table of contents. What do you notice about this page? I hope you're going to say that you notice the topics are listed in order, and it shows the pages where those chapters begin. But let's take a look and see. So it looks like it tells us about what our butterflies on page 4, and it goes through to where it tells us about the egg stage on page 7. Well, let's see. Page 4. Butterflies are insects. They live everywhere, but the hottest and coldest places on Earth. There are more than 15,000 kinds of butterflies. This butterfly is a monarch. Butterflies grow in stages. The stages of a butterfly's life cycle are egg, larva, pupa, and adult. So then that was a chapter that tells us about what are butterflies. The next chapter is supposed to start telling us about, oops, I've already forgotten. Let's go back and look. The egg stage. Well, let's see if that's true. The egg stage does start on page 7. It says a male butterfly and female butterfly mate. The female is ready to lay eggs. She finds a plant and places her egg on it. And then it looks like the next chapter begins after that. It does. On page 8, we start to learn about the larva stage. The next topic will be the pupa stage, then the adult stage, then the glossary, then to learn more, and then the index, and it shows the pages. When you're looking at this, I want you to take a second. What looks like it might be the longest section? So when I'm looking at the pages, it looks to me like the longest section or the longest chapter would probably be the larva stage because it starts on page 8 and it continues until page 17. So let's say 19 to 22. Yep, I think the larva stage would be the longest chapter. So now I'm going to go ahead and pick up where we left off, and I'll continue reading the rest of the book. Okay. A larva grows inside an egg. A butterfly larva is called a caterpillar. Soon the caterpillar is ready to hatch. It chews its way out of the egg and eats the whole shell. The caterpillar has a long body with 16 legs. The legs have claws or hooks. They help the caterpillar crawl and hold on to plants. The caterpillar has strong jaws for chewing leaves. It spends all its time eating and growing quickly. The caterpillar grows so much that its skin becomes tight. The caterpillar is ready to molt. Its skin splits open. The caterpillar crawls out of its old skin. The new skin soon hardens. The caterpillar eats, grows, and molts again. It molts 4 or 5 times. Oh my. The caterpillar is now fully grown. It looks for a safe place to rest. The caterpillar, did I miss a page? Nope. Okay. The caterpillar drops sticky liquid from its body onto its resting spot. The liquid hardens into a pod. The caterpillar hooks its back pair of legs onto the pod and hangs upside down. Oh my goodness, imagine if we could do that. The caterpillar's skin splits open and falls away. The caterpillar has changed into a pupa. A hard case called a chrysalis covers the pupa. The pupa changes into an adult butterfly inside the chrysalis. A new butterfly breaks out of the chrysalis. It stretches its damp wings until they are flat. Now the butterfly is ready to fly. It will mate and a new life cycle will begin. Then we have the glossary, and then we are almost finished. And that's the end. Hope you enjoyed my story. Now you're going to get a chance to practice if you will click on the link below, and hope you have a great day.